It's a crazy thing, like these smartphones. Like I was on the GO train going in to Toronto, and there was some kids, and they were so concerned about their data. And one of the guys, I think they were teenagers, he was like, "Oh, I've got a gig plan. You guys can tether off me." I'm like, "That's not going to last long.
Yeah,
with 5 of you, you know?" But it's crazy because they're like hunting out. They're hunting out the data, but they were also hunting out the power. So they were on the train and they were like, "Can I plug in? Because I don't have a lot of juice, you know." And I saw in their eyes it was an addiction. Like they were I need to plug my phone in. It's like, don't talk to me until I've got like 10% battery. You know, it really was like that.
If I can't Snapchat, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
this whole train ride is a bullshit.
It's nuts. Like, where do you? I guess my question is like, what are your views on that? But where do you see that going? Because it's only going to get worse. But is there any policing going to go?
I don't know. Like I was at home and I had my nieces and my nephews, and they're 5 and 3.
Yeah.
And like, if you want to shut them up, you just give them a phone. Right. And then they'll put on YouTube and then they'll watch their TV show.
They'll know exactly where the icon is.
Yeah.
They'll know it to...
And it's, you can stop them. Like, obviously, you don't give it to them all day, every day. It's just like, look, put this on while I make dinner. That kind of... Same thing that they did to us when we were kids. It's like, you know, put the TV on. Exact same system. Yeah. But the TV went off at a certain point. Or your dad would be like, "I'm watching the news." And you're like, "Well, fuck this bullshit anyway," you know.
Now you got these separate screens.
Now everyone's got a separate screen that's on 24/7. Yeah. And constantly feeding you. Like your brain, it can't deal with that.
No, I know.
That's the thing I always go about. It was like, we've evolved or devolved over millions of years. Yeah. And then tens of thousands of years of civilization and language and all that. And it's only the last like 20, like, when would you say phones took off? 2000?
Yeah, around that. Like,
so we're looking at 20 years to 25 years max.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's everywhere. Everything in the world, all day, every day.
Websites and, you know, like when you're designing for anything, mobile first. Yeah. It's like people are on their mobiles. They're going to see it first on their mobile. Yeah. It's like no one's going to see this on their laptop first. They're going to see it on their mobile first.
And I don't think there's been enough studies done linking how we are dealing with that every day, all day.
There definitely isn't. Like even like many things is in like what that does to your eyes. Like they coming out with what do you call it? Like the night shift, whatever. It's on iPhone night shift. So like when you're looking at it in the dark, it kind of tints the screen. I think Android definitely has that. It's called something else. But even that, like we've just got years of just looking at fucking phones. Yeah. In the dark or wherever.
Well, that screws you up. Yeah, because the screen mimics sunlight. It mimics daylight.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
So if you're looking at that at nighttime, your biological clock is just like, what's going on? Yeah. It's nighttime. Why am I seeing daylight?
The other thing
this far from my face.
Just experiencing things for yourself. Like when I grew up, my dad would record a lot, like video record a lot. But he'd be behind the camera. We'd jokingly say like, "Oh, you're kind of living like our memories behind a camera," but he can watch them after. But that was like the early stages of like Snapchat in a way, because he always had the camera, the thing up to his eye. But now it's like I've got friends that are on holiday right now, and they're big kind of Snapchatters. And like I just see like a Snapchat every kind of 2 hours. Yeah. And I'm like, are they living like their holiday through Snapchat? Yeah. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying like it's crazy. It's like, you know, we're
kind of shooting ourselves in the foot here though, because most of our listeners are probably on their phone now or whatever.
I'm sure they're listening to it, which is great. No, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, where is it going to go? Yeah. You know, I'm a little concerned with kids because they're going to grow up with that and they're going to be so used to that. Yeah. And then you've also got like we love our VR. So you got the VR which connects onto that. But just, I guess the reason why I brought it up is when I saw those kids, I saw an addiction in their eyes.
Oh, definitely.
Like I saw a worry, you know. Yeah. Something happened last week to me. I was off on holiday and I lost internet at home. Right. And for an hour or two, I lost internet. But I was watching something. How
did you get by?
I know, yeah. I was watching something on that I had already downloaded, so I was just watching it. But actually, for the 2 hours, like the first hour, I brought up my phone and I tried to go somewhere. I was like, "Oh yeah, I lost internet. I forgot." Yeah, yeah. And then 10 minutes later, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I lost internet." I'm like, "What the heck is wrong with me?" So I was like, "I'm going to put this phone down, put it away for about an hour." After an hour, I was starting to get aggravated. I was just like, what the heck? I think I texted my wife. I was like, we lost bloody internet. You know, it's like,
what are we living for?
I was like, what if I'm like this? What are people like growing up, you know, with phones and stuff?
And the other thing with that is, I think it was a statistic that like you look at Facebook once every 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's a nuts statistic. Yeah,
it's called a negative feedback loop.
Right.
You go on Facebook to see what's happening, and because you do that, you get your little red things pop up, and then you have something to do. And then it just makes you feel like you're engaged, and you're getting information from your friends and whatever. Yeah. And then you turn it off. And then you're in your day-to-day normal life, and you're like, I'm not getting any stimulus. I'm not getting any response for what's happening. Yeah. So I'll just check Facebook again. Yeah. And the time between that need to get a response shortens and shortens and shortens to like, you just naturally hit F, and then it pops up in your search bar, Facebook. Just like, boom. Yeah, you're there. Everyone's got their app. They click their app and it's open, and they're like, scroll, turn it off. Yeah. Then later, scroll. And this is the thing, like, you don't understand is that anybody listening to this, and you included, because I know this because I was on holiday, what was the last day you didn't have your phone? I don't mean no internet. I don't mean no texting. I mean, not even have the phone. Physically have the phone.
It probably was when I was in Australia. I went to Australia.
Did you go to Australia? Yeah.
So sometime like last year. It was probably one of the days there. I think I must have left it and it was probably because I was like, oh well, I got no internet anyway, or whatever it was. But I think there was one day, and then before that, I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Like I don't
know
if there
was. So once in 6 months.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, that's fine. It's like, no. In the last 20 years, this has become fine. But all the generations before us, if you had taken away their wallet or their watch, they'd be like, oh, forgot my wallet, forgot my watch. They wouldn't have a freak out panic attack. Like if you would have taken one of those kids' phones, they would have.
They would have lost
their minds.
Well, man, this goes on to something else. Like they probably would have killed for it. They probably would have killed for it. Like as in, like I wouldn't say smash a rock over someone's head right then, but if you were to actually take it away and run away, or something like that, or get in a car, they would risk your life. They would be like, oh, I'm going to throw this in front of the car because I want to stop that person.
Yeah, he's got my phone. Yeah.
So that would kind of happen. The other thing, I mean, this can go everywhere, but
it goes everywhere. Yeah.
Is I really like this one. Is that we really shouldn't even be calling them phones anymore.
No,
they're computers. They're computers.
They're computers. Yeah.
So I've got an iPhone 7. Yeah. And it is more powerful. I know it is more powerful than a MacBook Air. From I think 2 years ago. I think there might be a new one, or there's one coming out soon. It's more powerful than a MacBook Air laptop. Yeah. And it's just a phone, you know. But I'm just wondering when we're going to stop calling them phones. I know we call them smartphones, but eventually I think we're going to call them something. Smarties. I don't know what it is because
Smarties.
Because actually, when was the last time you called someone? Actually called like texting.
We're weird, like you said. We grew up outside the bubble.
Yeah.
So like I called someone yesterday.
Okay. I don't call people at all.
Yeah.
and also when people call me, I'm like, oh!
You have a freak out. You're like, what's going on?
Especially if you don't know the number.
Who's dead?
Yeah.
Who's dead?
Yeah, you're like, what? Yeah, if you know, if it's like, you know, bros calling you, you're like, oh, what's going down? You know, like, is there a party or is like someone, you know, someone
but
pregnant?
But if your mom's number came up, you're like, someone's dead?
Yeah.
Someone's dead? Yeah. It's all over. She's like, hello, you came over for dinner.
Yeah.
Don't ring me! How dare you scare me like that?
An unknown number, you're like, I'm not picking you up. Yeah. You're an idiot.
And the other thing you were saying with the kids, because we keep shitting on kids, because fuck them. But they've got it really bad because a lot of them need the phone because they're so psychologically screwed that they don't have relationships in their normal life.
Well, that's the thing. Dustin,
they're very miserable. Like that's a trend that they have noticed. Psychologists, there's an uptick in suicide rates and all this because we're so programmed into what our social status is on the phone that we're not building relationships in real life.
That's the thing. People
so everything's very superficial.
Yeah,
and when you have an actual emotional issue, like people will post on Facebook. Yeah, like if someone's having a bad day, they'll be like, "Oh man, having a bad day. I really wish I had someone to talk to." You're like, shouldn't this be something you say to somebody?
Yeah, it's like
shouldn't you use the phone to call somebody?
I know.
You know.
Well, that's
and there's the two sides to that. The one side is that people are genuinely losing out on human interaction.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the other side is that the internet has made everything very performative. You have to be on show.
Yeah.
Like those kids that like go to the extreme and pretend they have cancer.
Yeah.
So they get a lot of likes and attention.
Right, yeah.
And it's the same with this. It's like, oh, but if I post on Facebook that I'm sad, then I'll be able to test how many friends are going to, you know, text me, or how many friends are going to like it.
Well, they need that satisfaction of, I posted a picture of me at, you know, the Archway having steak with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
So how many likes am I going to get? Oh, I've got a comment. As soon as they get a comment and their phone goes ding like that.
Yeah.
Like, can you just not check your phone? Like, it's hard not to ding. It's like, oh, who's commented on it? You know.
Yeah.
And people are just addicted to that. But there's been a study as well that basically causes depression as well, because you're looking on Facebook and you're like, oh, Margaret's in. I don't know Margaret. I don't know why I use Margaret, but
she's a
Margaret.
bitch.
She's in Spain again. she's doing
she's
some
bitch.
surfing, and she's doing this, she's doing that. Well, I'm at work.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, she's in Vancouver now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I wish I was in Vancouver. And then suddenly you go home and you're like, well,
everyone's got a better life than me.
Yeah, I'm watching Fast and Furious. And
yeah, I've seen that study. I saw that study.
There is,
and it's one of the weirdest, not a paradox, but like contradictory results ever, is that everyone thinks all of their friends are having a better life than them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And
so
really,
everyone's thinking.
But really, everyone's in the same boat. Because when they post that steak picture, when they post the steak, it's them saying like, oh, I'm kind of want to post this, because like some people genuinely just want to post it and go like, hey, this is actually really freaking good. Yeah. This is at this restaurant, boom. Yeah. Some people just want the attention, you know, but when they do, they don't realize that everyone else is doing it for the same reason.
Yeah, everybody's like,
so they're all in the same boat.
And it's like, I have a really high bar for what I post.
Yeah. Like I think you need to,
Like it has to be like something really big. Yeah, exactly. Or just like, that's it. Like it has to be something magnificent. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not posting this. This is my food. I'm going to eat this. I'm not going to tell somebody that I'm eating this.
Exactly.
You're either here eating it with me or you're not. Fuck off.
Would you ever... why are you on Facebook? Would you ever consider deleting Facebook?
Facebook... Weirdly enough, Facebook gave me one of those notes things saying, you've been on Facebook 10 years.
Oh, yeah?
So I went into the room and I cried. So I'm like, what has happened to my life?
It came up for me and Steve.
So I was like looking at the numbers. I was like 10 years. It's like 2007. Yeah. That's when I came here.
Oh, wow.
I'm on Facebook to connect with the people back in Ireland. Okay. That's why I was on Facebook.
That's why I was going to mention it. I was like, I guess you're on it for that.
That's
you got Messenger and stuff. So
you know, I was back home and everyone's like, "Have you got Viber?" And I'm like, "No, download a Viber." Yeah. Now I'm chatting to them all day, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't need it."
It's funny because I find that Instagram is actually a nice middle ground. Instagram's very visual, and you can just scrub through, and you're just like, "Okay, this is cool."
Check on the rocks.
Whereas, whereas Facebook is very kind of like just sitting in my flat. Saw the view tonight and a bird flew down. It's like, fuck off, whatever. Whereas Instagram's very kind of, here's that bird, it flew by, it looked awesome, so you can just kind of scrub through. So like more and more I've been thinking about deleting Facebook, but then there are people I still want to connect back to, but like I don't know why I check it so often. So like
I said, it's just become a habitual thing.
Really has,
it's just normalized. If you can press everyone listen to this now. When you go back onto your Chrome or your Internet Explorer, whatever you're using, and you press F, and the first thing that comes up is Facebook. Yeah, that's just habit. That just proves to you that that's what you're clicking. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, that's true. And like, when was the last time you were on Facebook and you were like, man, I had a great time on Facebook. I had a great time on Facebook last night.
Awesome.
I was chatting to my buddies, and I was like, we were laughing. It doesn't fucking happen. I know. You're on Facebook for 20 seconds. To just scroll through and move on. Okay. Yeah, maybe it'll pop up that somebody's dead. You know, like you'll get one of those little
actually, that's how I found out about Moore. Yeah, I found out.
Or Ada. Somebody will have like R.I.P.
It was Ada.
Yeah, Chris Cornell. Yeah, and like, oh wow, that's.
But that's actually another thing, is people are getting their news from that as well. Like I got it from Ada. Ada goes R.I.P. Roger Moore. I was like, what? Yeah. So then I checked BBC, but I did find it out on Facebook first. So,
and that's why, like, I think the brain is having a problem, because we're just endlessly instant information,
and we're also
and this is something like I've noticed, just to cut you off, is with the amount of news we're getting and the information we're getting is so quick that we're not even processing it. It just becomes headline, soundbite. Just get through it. Just get through it. Just get through it.
I know.
Scroll. And you're like, wait. Did you not hear what that thing was? Like, that's major.
I know, yeah.
You know?
And if you don't, and like, it could be an advertising thing or it could be just a true headline, but if you don't hook them on the headline, they're going to scroll through. You know, it's like they're a thumb flick away, basically. You know, and they don't, I think there was a study, and I think it's the average is when you click on a video is like 4 seconds. If you don't get them within 4 seconds, it could be 4 or 6. If you don't get them within that, they're gone. So
that's why I don't understand anybody watching my videos. It's like a 45-minute video. Like I know that if I click on a video and then it has the timestamp of how long this is, I'm like, no.
But that's, you're not posting on Facebook saying, hey, look at this. But still.
But it's the mentality of it. Like, that could be the most important video I watch ever.
Yeah.
But because it says 22 minutes, I'm like, I'm not watching that.
Well, then it's all to do with your thumbnail. Yeah. So if it's Bane versus
So I think what you're trying to get to at your original point with, you know, watching kids in a weird, creepy, stalkery way. But the point you're generally getting to is like, what the hell are we going to do about it?
I know, it's crazy.
Because it is going to get to a proper alcoholic addiction level.
It really will. Because if you take a phone or an iPad away from a kid now, they scream. Like, they'll scream. And like, we don't even know what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years because we didn't grow up with that, so we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not like other addictions. We don't know.
But I just had an idea. This is more of a ad idea for for companies, but it'd be kind of cool in a way. Say if you were with Kudu, I'm with Kudu for my phone, and data. So say like they had a promotion. They were like, snap the best picture of Toronto from this building or this bus stop or whatever, and we'll give you 50 megabytes of data. You know, something to give you data. I don't know, the snapping the picture is probably a stupid idea, but whatever it is, it's like with your phone, you know, hashtag this, you know, blah blah blah, and we'll give you 20 megabytes of data. For a kid, that would be like, fuck, we're doing this. So just being able to get these little data bolts, that would be kind of cool. Or like, get this bus, you know, take public transport, don't drive a car, and we'll give you 50 megabytes. And
welcome to Random Bollox, which is just Alex's brainstorming session.
But I can see that actually happening because, like, again, going back to those kids in the train, they were very much like, oh, I'm going to need a tether off you because you got your gigabyte. And I was kind of looking at them going like, that's not going to last. You know, with whatever they're digesting with the video. But if they were to stop at Union and then suddenly it's like, support the Blue Jays and, you know, whatever it is. Snap this and do this, and then, you know, maybe it's like, stupid idea, pick up all these bottles, like do something for the environment, you know, fill a bag and we'll give you 100 megabytes, you know. So and then people are like, I'm going to do that because I need 100 megabytes, you know. So it's megabytes are going to be more than bloody money. It's going to be currency, isn't it? So there's just so many directions you can go off on.
I think one of the things to get clear though is when people are talking about this, it always comes across as like stupid kids on their phones all the time. They should be out in the real world. They should be out playing games and all that. It's like, that's bullshit. Like, the real world is generally boring as shit. Like, that's not the problem. The problem I have with it isn't that, like, stuff on the internet isn't really funny and really cool and really interesting. And, like, you can learn everything from astrophysics to watching the latest episode of your favorite TV show. So it's always going to be more entertaining. It's like walking around. If you could have a PlayStation, you could just walk around with it, like full game, it'd be great. The problem with it is the emotional damage it's doing to people. Like you said, if you take that phone away, they will freak out.
They will.
They will have an actual physical you know, their whole body will just shut down. They just won't know what to do with themselves. They're like, give me my phone, you dickhead.
What do I do without it?
What do I do without it? It's like, it's not, it's like, the phone's here. I have your phone. The phone's in my pocket. You're just not getting it. You're like, give me my phone. Give it to me. Like, the physical need to have it on them. Like, if they were on the train and one of them said, I forgot my phone, they'd get off the train and go home.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. What about,
have
you ever left the house knowing that your phone's at home but you've forgotten it?
Don't give a shit.
So,
I still have that emotional attachment.
I know I do. How about if you left it on a bus, though? So that's more annoying.
I've never left it anywhere.
Because then,
that's the thing.
We'd have to ask Jono about that one.
We'd have to ask Jono.
It's one of our friends. He's like lost 3 phones within like a month. But so if you forget it at home, you know that you've got the day. You know that at the end of the day, you're going to come home to it. you're still going to have a bit of a day without it.
Yeah.
But if you left it on a bus and you knew, you're like, oh God, left it on the bus.
Yeah.
That's gone. Like your phone is gone. You're
Yeah.
pretty much not going to get it back.
No.
But that's even more like psychological damage to you, you know?
I can understand, like, but that's the other problem with it is this is why the future is going to be very difficult. Like trying to wean somebody off an addiction to video games.
Yeah.
Is pretty easy for the people trying to do it because it's just like, stop playing the video games. You're not working. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not exercising.
Yeah.
You know, it's affecting you physically, mentally, and all this. You can't do that with a phone because it's got your bank on it.
Yeah.
It's got your email on it.
Yeah.
It's got your contacts on it.
I
don't remember any phone numbers anymore.
No, neither do I. Yeah.
Like every aspect of your life is on that phone now.
Yeah.
So like why we're so connected and like tethered to the phone makes sense in a way. So if you lost it, you've lost a lot of very vital information.
But hopefully, you know, you've got iCloud or whatever the Android equivalent is, and you can back it up, like photos. Like I already right now, if I lost my phone, I would have everything because it's backed up.
Yeah.
But I make sure. But not everyone does have that backed up. Like photos, memories is a big thing, you know. So.
And it's like I was saying of like, what are we going to do in the future? It's just like, oh, we'll just teach kids not to have the phone, or don't give them a phone till they're 8 years old, or don't give them a phone till they're 16.
Yeah.
And it's like, can't do that.
No, because
that kid is now decades behind everybody else.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not just learning the tech part of it. It's like you do get way too much information, but that information is constantly going in.
Yeah.
And some small chunks of it.
Yeah.
So like a 8-year-old with a phone is probably going to be better equipped for the way the world is.
Totally, yeah.
Than a person without it.
Yeah.
Like if you expect your kid to be raised in New York City or LA or like a major area like Tokyo or, you know, bloody Australia, wherever, they're going to have to deal with the internet. They're going to have to deal with social media. They're going to have to deal with all of this. They don't have to participate, but they have to know it.
However,
you can't just cut it off.
The kid without the phone, you could argue, is going to be a better people person.
Oh yeah,
they're going to have good conversation skills.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to hold a conversation and like talk to clients or whatever. You know, they might go down that route.
And it's also teaching them like emotional stability.
Totally, yeah.
It's like, I'm taking your phone away. Okay.
Yeah. Whereas someone else is like, whoa, no.
No, I need that constant stimulation.
Yeah, it's in my watch anyway. It's in my watch.
Yeah. It's in my tie.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. But it'll be interesting once we stop calling them phones as well, because we eventually will stop calling them phones.
The way I think it'll go down is when we start to see proper addiction clinics open up. Yeah,
because those are now, and they've been around for a while, for computer games.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you and I grew up and our dads would be like, stop playing computer games. You know, do something, you know, that's going to get you a job, or go outside and play some football. But now it's like, no, Dad, like people make a living.
Yeah, I make 50 grand a year doing this
through playing a video game. So,
and it's also like I was saying with the video game and comparison, with video games, you're not doing anything else. Like your phone's on you all day. Yeah. It doesn't interfere. Yeah. It's sort of like a functioning alcoholic. Yeah. Like you don't notice that they have a problem because they're still able to, when you have your phone on you, you're still able to go to work. Yeah. You're still able to do all your day-to-day things. Yeah. You're still able to like go to dinner and all that. Oh yeah. So it looks like you're fine, and it doesn't seem as pervasive or like damaging. Yeah. But it is. Yeah. In the longer run, I think once that like turns over and people are like, oh, you've got a problem, you need to get off the phone. If you don't get off the phone, you're like, when you get off the phone, you have a real issue. Yeah. Dealing with bloody yourself.
The trouble is, everyone in the world actually, like not everyone, but like so many people in the world actually have that issue. Like you and I have that issue, maybe just slightly. Yeah. Like not as much as...
Oh, it's definitely become habitual to us. Yeah, we're just into that phase of just like, I'll just check my phone.
Whereas computer game addiction is like, you know, a lot of people might have that and it might be slowly ramping up. Yeah. Like this cell phone addiction is just going to be like, boom, you know? Yeah. So many people...
Because there's hundreds of millions of people.
So it's going to be a big issue.
And that's what I think, like, if you get to the point where people are all being addicted and they're all having to get treatment... Yeah. That's going to have a knock-on effect of parents being like, oh, I can't give this to my kids. Yeah. I can't let them fall into this.
You're almost going to have that like that Nintendo thing I mentioned, like few podcasts ago,
Yeah,
where
you only get X amount of hours per day.
Screen turns off at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like screen just turns off at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like there's no way, I think there's going to be things like that happening.
Yeah, like I know my brother's kids, it's like no devices during the day.
Right.
So nothing during the day. Have to be out playing.
Yeah.
In the garden, all that kind of stuff.
And then
school, homework.
Yeah.
And then around
it gives you
7 o'clock before you
gives you something to look forward to. Otherwise, you're just spoiled and you're kind of like, whatever, and I'll put this down.
I think that's the only way it's going to go. It's like, it's a horrible way to go, but it's going to have to be, people are going to have issues.
Yeah.
Before someone legislates it and says, okay, we need to have a study.
Yeah.
Like, how many hours should a kid have a phone in their hand?
Yeah.
How many hours should they have a laptop?
They must be going on right now. They must have like some crazy results, which they're releasing. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to really hit the shit's not going to hit the fan until like a year or two. And these clinics are going to come up.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to happen real soon, like a year or two. So.
Oh, I think because people don't even notice they've got the problem.
No, that's the whole thing. I think they're starting to realize, because like what do we work it out to be, like 15 years back, 20 years of people having these phones. But even then, like they were Nokias and like they were basic.
So you look at like, when was the iPhone?
Well, the iPhone
2008, 2007?
Yeah. 10 years, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years, because 8.
So we're definitely hitting the point where like kids, adolescents have only ever had a phone.
Yeah.
Or been in a house with a phone.
Totally, yeah.
So they're definitely going to be hitting the point of like, oh, I'm 14, 15.
Yeah.
I've only ever had a phone. And then like I lost it for a day, so like I beat somebody up.
I know.
It's like, okay, you got a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, but you don't understand, I didn't have my phone. It's like, oh god damn it, Chad.
What was the other thing? I had I was watching a 3D movie, and because it had the 3D glasses on, when you look at your phone, it's all warped. It actually like made me watch the movie all the way through. So it's like, okay, I'm not gonna just glance at my phone and look up, look down or whatever. So I thought that was kind of cool. I literally had my phone away for like a whole 3-hour movie, watching it, and then I was like, oh, now I'll pick up my phone kind of thing. But
that'll probably be an app that'll be like tied in with the Alexa of like, oh Alexa, we're putting a movie on, silence all devices. So the phones have no signal. It's like flight mode.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
While the movie's on, your phones don't work.
Yeah.
So you can look at it all you want, but you're not getting any messages of that fucking movie.
There's definitely going to be little apps like that for sure. But
especially for households, like with families just being trying to like, right, if you're in our house and you're using our Wi-Fi, you're not going to be using the Wi-Fi when we're having family time.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be like family time, and everyone's going to be like, Wi-Fi down.
Wi-Fi down. It's all over. God damn it.
Yeah, we'll have to follow it.
That's a good
just
question.
Like self-driving cars and stuff. But it's
a good topic. Scary topic.
It's a scary topic.
I think a lot of people want to talk about it because we love our phones.
It
targets on our phones.
Everyone. Because I'm like, it's me. It's like, I don't know how much you.
Yeah,
but,
it's me too. Yeah,
it's my wife for sure. It's all of us.
Yeah.
We all do it. It's crazy. Sometimes I get home, I have dinner, and we're watching like the Blue Jays. Yeah. And I'm on my phone, and my wife's on my phone. And then suddenly
right
she jokes, and she's like, "Do you want to go to bed now and just get on our phones?"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Well, we're on our phones right now."
Yeah.
And it's like, we are pretty good. Like, we'll put it down a lot. Like, especially like if we go out for dinner or something. Like, our phones are always down. And people even play those games where you put your phone down.
Yeah.
First person to grab it.
Yeah.
Like, first person to grab their phone, like, buys the round and stuff like that. But so if we do it, but just like people younger or people more addicted, like I was saying, my friends are on holiday, but I'm like living their holiday through their Snapchat. Yeah. I'm like, are you actually enjoying the environment, or are you looking through your phone?
You're just like, ooh, that'd be a good one to take a picture of.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, so that's a cool tunnel. I'm taking a picture of it. I'm taking a video. But do you actually like that tunnel, or are you just doing it because you want
everyone
the 100 people that follow you to have a look at it? Like, do you genuinely like that? Or with the steak, like, is that a nice steak, or is it just you because you want after you take that photo or that video, you just want your pocket to go and if you don't have that, you're not satisfied. So if you're having a steak and those little beeps don't come, you actually have a problem. Like, I think you have a problem if you take a picture of your steak and then if you don't get enough beeps or vibrations in your pocket and you're not enjoying yourself.
And that's that feedback loop. Like, the more popular you get, the more you need that thing. Like, if you get 10,000 followers and you put a post up and it only gets 20 likes, you're like, what happened? What's wrong? And if you get like 100,000 followers and you're only getting so many, it's like, oh, this better get 7,000 likes in the next hour. Like, that kind of, you're just totally skewed. Like, you're completely off track on it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, good topic. I mean, you can go on, but let us know what you think about it in the comments as well.
Yeah, let us know what you think. What the solution
You're
might
on your
be.
Phones right now. You might as well just let us know.
Yeah, might as well text us. At randombollocks at Twitter. Tweet us. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll expand on it further, but no, just good to talk about. We'll be on our phones on the way home.
Yeah, I'll text you later.
Checking it all out. Why have we only got 2 comments? Why?
Why have I got so many likes? Oh my.